Hola, ¿qué tal? Welcome to the channel Made by Humans, where we want you to be happier traveling throughout the Iberian Peninsula with the help of our videos and of our self-guided walking tours. And welcome to a new session of questions and answers. A quick summary of how these Q&A videos work. You have a question for us. If you want a quick answer, find a video related to the question, fire away, and within a day you will get an answer, as we attempt to reply to all incoming questions every 24 hours. But if you cannot find a video related to your question or are not on a rush, leave your question at the commentary box down below here and we will reply to it on the next Q&A session. The next session, by the way, is due to air on the 1st of February. Let's start with several quick clarifications that we repeat in most Q&A videos. First, never fail to read the first comment below the videos where we post any updates that may have occurred as well as bug fixes. Prices, schedules, conditions, everything changes, and those of us who create videos can only reflect those changes in the comments, as videos cannot be edited once they have been published. Second, the more help you give us, the better we can help you. Date of your trip, origin, destination. People often ask us about itineraries and they don't tell us how many days they have for the trip they want to complete. Third, the ETIAS, a permit that will be required to travel to Europe, it will not come into force before the second half of 2026, and we would not rule out a further delay. For now, rest assured, there is no need to worry about it. The EES, an automated system to digitally record the entry and exit of non-EU nationals crossing the Schengen area external borders, is already in force, and we talked about it in our previous Q&A session. Now, quick news, FC Barcelona is back playing in its Camp Nou stadium after a long exile due to reconstruction work. The renovation of the stadium hasn't been completed yet, but if you want to catch Barça playing at the Camp Nou, you can do so again. And now with your questions. We have added some interesting questions from viewers of our Spanish and Portuguese language channels as well. First question from Jeff. Hola Tony, ¿qué tal? I've been watching your videos, which are always informative. I've asked you several questions in the past and you promptly replied with good information. However, I'm still having some difficulties purchasing some bus and train tickets. Thanks to your information, I was able to buy a Renfe train ticket from Malaga to Córdoba for December 2025. From Córdoba, I'm going to Ronda and then from Ronda back to Malaga, but cannot get tickets. I've been using Omio as per your suggestion, and when I enter the dates for Córdoba to Ronda and Ronda to Malaga, always receive the same information, no buses found. From what I've researched, there are buses that leave daily from these cities to the cities I've indicated. Am I doing something wrong? I'm trying to get all my tickets ahead of time so that I don't have to rush around at the last minute. I'd appreciate any help you can give. Muchas gracias, Jeff. Jeff, you left us a question for your December trip for a video that it's airing at the end of December, so our help will arrive a bit too late. But anyway, we are glad to hear we have been of help in the past. We have never ever recommended Omio to any of our followers. We have never used the app. It's not that we have anything against it. We've never used it. For trains, we always recommend the train line. For buses, we always recommend the company running the service. So in that case, you should have gone to the company running Ronda to Malaga or the other stretch you wanted to cover. Tango Elvis, hello Tony and Cecilia, your videos have been invaluable for our recent trips to Spain and Portugal. Thank you. I am surprised you have not done one for Évora. Is it not worth a day trip from Lisbon? Hello, we haven't been to Évora after we started the channel, that's why we haven't got any material on the city. But the good news is that we are planning to visit the city next year. There should be a video on Évora not long before the summer. We are going to spend the night in the city, as from what we know from previous days, a day trip sounds too rushed. It can be done, but you will be missing out on many things. All the best to you. Larissa, hello Cecilia and Tony, I simply love your tips. Delighted to hear that, Larissa. I'm going to Barcelona in June 26th, staying 5 days in the city. Are there any day trips I could do and where? Thank you. Larissa, you will probably discover that 5 days won't leave much time for day trips, but if you want to do one, the classic one is Montserrat. We have a video recommending the best day trips from Barcelona, and some of them are really excellent, and another one with tips on Montserrat. We will put the links to both videos in the first comment below the current video. A question from Giovanni. Hi, just one question. To get to Cadiz from Seville, better the train or the bus? Thanks. Giovanni, both alternatives are equally valid. We've taken both, we like them both. The travel time is very similar. Trains depart from Santa Justa station, buses from Prado de San Sebastián bus station. Compare prices and go for the best for you. The railway station and the bus station in Cadiz are next to each other. When possible, we always prefer to take the train. Claudia says, thanks for so much help, Tony. I'm traveling by train from Madrid to Barcelona. If I'd like to visit Zaragoza, what should I do? 1 day would be enough? Claudia, first of all, high-speed train tickets in Spain are point to point. If you have a ticket to travel from Madrid to Barcelona and get off in Zaragoza halfway, you will need another ticket for the continuation of your trip. So, if you want to know Zaragoza, the underrated Spanish city, buy one ticket Madrid-Zaragoza and another one Zaragoza-Barcelona. 1 day is enough to see the basics of Zaragoza, and that's the proposal of a self-guided walking tour 1 day in Zaragoza. Link in the first comment below. However, if you'd like to explore a bit more or at a more leisurely pace, spending the night in the city would be a great idea. Bear also in mind accommodation prices in Zaragoza are far more affordable than in Madrid or Barcelona. Bogdana, a dear friend of the channel, says, hi Tony and Cecilia, I absolutely love your videos about itineraries and day trips around the Iberian Peninsula. They are always so helpful and inspiring. I recently discovered the Extremadura region and it looks absolutely fascinating. That's why I was really glad to see that Mérida came up in your recent questions. Could you please suggest a possible itinerary for exploring the region? Also, do you know if there are any train or bus connections between the main towns in Extremadura? Thanks again for sharing such valuable and enjoyable content. It's a real pleasure to follow your work. Hi Bogdana, we love having you as a dear friend of the channel. We have been several times to Extremadura, my best friend lives there, but that was before we had the channel. We need to go back, who knows, in 2026. Now, write down Cáceres, Mérida and Badajoz, the main cities, are well connected by buses and trains. To visit other wonderful towns like Trujillo, you will need to depend on just buses or a rented car. You could do 2 days in each of the main cities we have mentioned, and then 1 day in Trujillo just for a first taste of the region. All the best to you. And then we have a question from Alonso, who is going to Madrid and wants to know if a couple of weeks is enough to get to know the city at a leisurely pace. Alonso, most people devote between 2 and 4 days to Madrid and they seem happy with it. When you talk to them, you realize they haven't even scratched the surface of the city, missing out on a long list of what we consider to be must-sees. 2 weeks for slow travelers sounds like a good proposition. We are going to leave links to our top 50 attractions of Madrid and the list of our top 20 museums, plenty of material, content to fill up your time in the city. Michael says, thanks for the video, Tony. In the past, if I traveled from Madrid to Paris, I didn't have to present my passport in Paris. What changes with EES? I'm not a EU citizen. Michael, basically nothing changes. There are no permanent immigration controls between Spain and France. The flight from Madrid to Paris is considered a domestic flight. Zoila says, hi Tony, I live in the US and I'm planning to travel to Spain with a US passport. But I'm also a Spanish citizen with a Spanish passport. Do I have to register my entry in Spain in the EES system? Thanks in advance for your reply. Zoila, we can see EES has raised many doubts. If you use your US passport to enter Spain, then you will have to go through the EES control. If you use your Spanish passport, you won't. It all depends on the document you choose to enter the country. Neil says, thank you for your wonderful work here. Thank you, Neil. I guess my question is quite specific, but I haven't seen the answer yet. I hold a UK passport but with an Article 50 residence permit issued by Bulgaria. Obviously, I submitted by biometrics when I got my residence permit. What do I do at the border? Neil, your question is way beyond our realm of expertise. Sorry, we cannot be of help. You can either seek advice from an official source before you begin your trip or do so on arrival to Spain or Portugal. There are attendants to help with the operation of EES. Abby and Will says, Tony, thank you for all your helpful videos. We took a Renfe Euromed train from Barcelona directly to Valencia in November. Is that not considered a high-speed train? It clocked a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Hi, Abby and Will. The key question is not so much the train as the infrastructure. There isn't a continuous high-speed track from Barcelona to Valencia, only stretches of it. So while the train itself could be considered high speed, the line is not. There are other cases where the circumstances change along the way, such as the Alvia train that runs from Barcelona to the Basque Country. From Barcelona to Zaragoza, it runs at high speed on a high-speed track, but from Zaragoza to the Basque Country, the speed drops and it's no longer a high-speed train or a high-speed track. Question from Nick. Hi there, I will be traveling to Barcelona for 7 days. T-usual card seems like the cheapest way for unlimited travel within Barcelona. May I know if the T-usual card will work to and from the Barcelona airport to city center by metro line? Nick, yes, the T-usual card right now provides a good deal because of a temporary government subsidy. It is currently being sold at half its normal price. You can use it on the airport metro line as many times as you want. We have a video with all the details of Barcelona airport transportation. We will put a link below this video. Isabel wants to know, to go to Toledo, do you recommend we buy the tickets in advance? Isabel, we assume you mean to travel from Madrid to Toledo. If you plan to use the bus, you don't need to. You buy the ticket as you board the bus. If you're planning to take the high-speed train, then we advise you to buy the tickets at least a few days in advance. Not because they will be cheaper, they won't, as the prices on that line are always the same, but because everyone in Madrid wants to go to Toledo in the morning and the trains sell out. Mari wants to know, hi Tony, are there any discounts for senior citizens traveling on Spanish trains? Thank you. Mari, there is a thing called the Tarjeta Dorada, the golden card issued by Renfe that offers discounts on Renfe trains. The other companies do not offer discounts for senior citizens. The golden card, it's quite good and we use it the whole time. There is just one minor inconvenience. You need to buy it at a ticket office while in Spain. And if you wait till you get here to buy your train tickets, the savings provided by the card will not compensate the fact that you will pay much more expensive fares. So the Tarjeta Dorada is only good for residents or those that keep coming back to Spain. And that was all for today. Our next video with questions and answers at the beginning of February. In the meantime, make the most of our videos and commentary boxes, where every day we reply to your incoming questions. And for those that celebrate Christmas, our best wishes for the holiday season, and as we say in Spanish, Feliz Navidad. We'll be back next week with a spectacular video to round up 2025.